Hello and welcome back, worship warriors, to another episode of flag moves, techniques, etc., etc. Today we are talking about techniques in holding and using the flags, particularly the flags that we use on a regular basis, which are called spin tube flags. I've heard other variations of that, but basically what a spin tube flag is it's on a rod that spins all the way around, and that means that when it spins, you can spin it all the way around without it wrapping up on the pole. The flexi rods are not like that. They are sewn into the flag, and so when you turn it, it wraps around your hand. So there's a much different technique there. I find it a little bit more difficult to teach people choreographed dances with the flexi rod flags. When you're doing spontaneous worship and whatnot, it's really not that hard. Actually, the flexi rods can be pretty simple when you're just doing the spontaneous stuff. When choreographing, however, it's a different story. And so we prefer to teach people the flags for choreographed offerings using the spin tube flags. But they're both wonderful flags for worship. They're both wonderful. Don't get me wrong at all. So, as far as technique goes, first thing I want to show you is that there are two ways in which to hold these types of flags. There are some spin tube flags that do not come with a ball on the end. They just have the rod, and that can be great in and of itself. However, you want this when you're doing the more advanced flag moves or patterns or whatever, because you can hold it in this way and the ball swivels in your hand. So that is one way to hold the flag, just like this. The thing that makes it a little bit difficult in holding it this way is that you don't have as much control. The other way to hold it, obviously, is just like this. You can hold it this way. The great thing about holding it this way, way down here on the rod, on the ball, is that you can easily switch between the two. And you want to be able to do that the more advanced you get, because, and I'll show you in a second what some of the advanced steps are and why it's much better to hold it this way when you're doing the advanced steps. Anytime you do any of the steps in which the flag goes behind your head, you want to hold it this way. However, you have more control. Sorry, my space is limited in here, so I'm smacking things at the moment. However, you have more control when you hold it this way. So most of the time, I prefer to hold it this way. But like I said, when you do the advanced stuff, it's definitely better to hold it this way. Okay, so one of the more advanced flag moves, I'm going to show you the difference between using your wrists. It's kind of subtle, but you can tell, especially when you're doing it in person, you can tell the difference. But I'm going to show you the difference between just using your wrists by holding the flag this way versus doing it this way. Now, this flag move is called Mike Dish. Okay, so I'm going to show you that I'm only holding the rods portion instead of the balls. And this is what it looks like. You'll see that I am not able to get the flags behind my head as much using this technique. However, whenever I am using it the other way with the balls in between my fingers, as you can see, it is much more pronounced, and I'm able to get the flags behind my head more. Actually, I need to practice on that because I know I can actually do more than that, than how much I'm getting it behind my head. Okay, next up is what is called Rafa. It's actually called Rafa 2. So this is a second variation to the first one. It's more advanced than the first one, but I used this one in order to be able to show you more just how exaggerated it is when you're holding the balls so that they can swivel in your hands. It helps a lot to get it behind your head more. It just looks a lot nicer. Unfortunately, I completely forgot to show you the other side of the coin when you hold the rods instead of holding the balls at the end of the rods. But I'm going to go ahead and show it to you anyway. This is when I'm holding the balls I think you'll get the idea. Okay, next, I want you to remember to keep a constant figure 8. Some figure 8s can be really small. Some need to be really big, but you want to keep a constant figure 8. If you don't do this, you're going to get the flags caught on the rod. It's going to be very frustrating because you're going to have to stop right in the middle of dancing and shake it out so that it's not stuck on the rod. So let's take a look real quick at what it looks like when you're not keeping a figure 8 and you're just simply going up and down or left and right. So you never want to go up and down or left and right in a straight direction. You want to do a figure 8. When it gets stuck on the pole, then you have to stop what you're doing and shake it out. That gets frustrating. Okay, next, we're going to talk about the 2 general types of flag moves. First, you have a mirror, and then you have a follow. Now, a mirror is like the victory wing. You have one flag going one way and the other flag going in exactly the opposite direction at the same time. The follow is like Mikdash, where you have a flag going a certain way and the other flag follows it, right? So you have a following motion at all times. Okay, well, this concludes our lesson in the flags and techniques. Hopefully one of these days I'll be able to also show you techniques in using the flexi rods, which are quite similar, but they are different. But right now I'm just going to focus on the spin tube flags. So I hope that helped. Thank you for watching, and we will see you on another episode. What's up, everybody? Thank you for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel. Don't forget to hit the bell icon down below. That way you get notifications every time we throw up a new video. Also, we'd really like to show you all the wonderful things that have been happening with the Worship Warriors. We have some new flag designs. They are double-layered flags. There is a story behind every single flag. Make sure you follow us on Instagram or Facebook as we post about these things on a regular basis. And be sure to visit our shop as well so that you can see all the wonderful things that we have for sale, all the wonderful worship weapons that we are selling, and there are so many more in the works. It's very exciting. We will have men's staffs to be able to dance with and worship with before our Father. We will have men's flags as well eventually. So many things that we are planning and working on. We cannot wait to show the world. So be sure to jump on over there and see what we got going on. Thank you so very much for your support. We really, really, really appreciate it. All the money that we make, all the things that we make on the sales goes straight back into the ministry. And that way we can continue to grow it and get the word out and reach more people in the process as well. Because truly that's what it's all about, is reaching the lost. So thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you here on a regular basis. Shalom.